Match of the day for the 2012 season was a replay of last year's preliminary final, Subiaco versus West Perth. In that match, it was Subiaco quite comfortably over the Falcons, but a new season puts all clubs back on an even keel. Today's match at Medibank Stadium was played in very, very hot conditions, and both sides found the going tough from the very outset, but Subiaco got out of the blocks much better, and mainly thanks to the liveliness of veteran Des Headland, who was moving very fluently across the half-forward line, taking some good marks and kicking goals. Brett Marnie, a new player to the club, in fact he's come across from interstate, was very prominent early, floated one over a long distance, bounced it through, and Subiaco jumped to a pretty quick lead, albeit it was a very low scoring affair in that first quarter. At quarter time, the Lions led by 14 points. It took a fair while for West Perth to get their first one on the board, and unusually it was Luke Tedesco running off half back who brought up the first major for West Perth, trying to spark them, but it didn't really work because Subiaco continued to attack relentlessly, and a remarkable effort by Clancy Wheeler to somehow get the ball to his boot in the scrimmage and find Rhett Kerr in the goal square resulted in another goal to the Lions. But to the Falcons' credit, and against all odds when the conditions were very, very hot indeed, they kept plugging away. Mark Hutchings was one of their prime movers as always, and kicked a goal, hammered it into the goal. Umpire, in actual fact, kept them alive, and they went into half-time only 12 points in arrears, and then within the first minute of the third quarter, Jason Salisic kicked that remarkable goal from deep in the right full-forward pocket, and that really did spark the Falcons. They continued to charge, and they had a very, very good third quarter indeed, which they, in fact, won, kicking 3 goals 6. They were rather inaccurate. They were still trailing at three-quarter time by 7 points, but could have been a lot closer. In the end, Des Headland bobbed up once again when he was most needed, kicking a valuable goal. Shane Zanetti for West Perth, kicking one from a long range, and halfway through the final quarter, the game was still in the balance. West Perth had done a remarkable job to keep in touch with the Lions, but in the end, perhaps fatigue took its toll. George Hampson kicking a goal, a late one for the Lions, albeit a contentious one. That was one of his 3 for the afternoon, and Subiaco booted away in the final stages of the match to run out winners by 24 points after leading by 14 at quarter time, 12 at half time, 7 at three-quarter time. It was a 4-goal margin in the end. The Lions, 13 goals, 7-85 to West Perth, 8-13, 61. Next week, we travel down to Claremont Oval. It's the reigning premiers Claremont against East Perth. We'll be on air at 2 p.m. from Tigerland.